Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli with Little Blue, and finally, yes, after WandaVision, now diving into the next MCU series, show on Disney Plus,
Yes.
The Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Yes.
The one I've been waiting for.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? I have to mention this. It's ironic that we're doing this after all 6 episodes came out.
Yeah, it is. But it's interesting. We talked a little bit.
So what?
We talked a little bit off camera about the plot line, and it's interesting that there's so many twists in this series so far that it's almost, I don't want to say it's hard to follow the plot, but you really have to pay attention and you really have to watch the recaps from the previous episodes. But it is, of course, Sam Wilson and James Buchanan, Bucky Barnes, together again.
AKA the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and I can say this safely, that the first episode, they're not even together.
New World Order.
Right.
Yeah, they're not together in this at all.
No, they're not together in this first episode, but they finally do get together. They have to kind of come to terms with some things because they basically hate each other at first.
And in episode 1, because of New World Order, because Sam, he kind of gives up on the shield.
Yeah, he does, and he gives it back to the government, which was a mistake.
Yeah.
And then the government decides to install a new Captain America.
And we get I think, if you know this, we get an appearance from Rhodey.
We do.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We do. And Sam does what he thinks is best, which is to retire the shield, but he has no idea that the government...
He has no idea what he's done.
No, the government is going to give that shield over to
the next Captain America.
The next Captain America that they appoint, who's a hero. He's a war hero, no question about it. He's
at least we know. We get his backstory, I guess, what he's been doing.
So when you're watching this, you're like, okay, all right.
He might not seem like a bad person, just like
maybe this guy will be okay. But you soon start to find out.
There's a bit of footage where he is throwing the shield. He seems like he's got the capability of handling the shield.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the strength.
Yeah, not quite as what Steve had.
At least not yet, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I was going to say that.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's another plot twist. If you watch this show, all 6 episodes are out for season 1. So I would suggest you sit down and maybe binge watch them or just watch them 2 at a time. But there's some really interesting twists in it.
You also notice because in episode 1, there's a bit of flash of a dream sequence with Bucky.
Yeah, there is. You get to see
him as the
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
And you get to see some of the nastiness that he did. And, he's living with this because they used him to do
it's haunting him,
very bad things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Including killing, Howard Stark and Tony Stark's parents,
That wasn't even brought up, I don't think, in the show yet.
No, he killed them both because the Russians wanted him.
Well, it wasn't
wanted him dead.
It wasn't really Bucky who did it. It's what was controlling him.
Right.
Yeah, and also we see Bucky's psychiatrist or something.
Yeah, we do.
That?
Yeah, she's kind of tough. She doesn't go easy.
Kind of a bit harsh and such.
Yeah, she is. But
jeez.
But she has to break through, which she does, and he's. Bucky is changed. He's still haunted by a lot of the things that he did.
Just like I said, yeah.
But he is, he is immune to those key words. Benign, freight car. There's a list of key words that are, if they're uttered in sequence, that he transforms into the Winter Soldier and he becomes compliant with the orders that,
right.
Hydra had instilled in him.
Right. And in episode 1, we get an appearance of Sam's family.
Which is neat. You get a little bit of a background story, but
his sister and his nephews.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what characters show up on, in this series. Peggy Carter's niece, Sharon. She shows up.
We haven't gotten. Well, it's not in the first 2 episodes, but later on.
Yeah,
so.
she does it. She does eventually show up. I'm not really giving anything away because she was touted in the trailer.
We haven't even gotten to the later episodes yet. We're doing the 2.
Yeah. So.
And in episodes 1 and 2, we get the main bad guys.
Yes, we do.
No, I forget. There's a word to it, like super soldiers. About just like what Steve Rogers was.
Exactly. It's a group of individuals that are more or less freedom fighters
with these masks and this symbol that's painted handprint.
Exactly, and they're basically taking from the rich and giving to the poor, but they're doing it in a way that government has surplus supplies stored up, and they're stealing it and taking it and distributing it to the needy, which is a noble cause. It's very much Robin Hood-esque, but
yeah, Robin Hood. They prefer like the main leader, the girl.
Right.
Remember she was in Solo.
Right, and but her character,
she's considered like she's called Robin Hood.
This group crosses the line, and people start to die, and it's when people start to die, this is when they turn from freedom fighters into terrorists.
Yeah.
So they turn bad. And while their cause may be noble, their loyalties are terribly misplaced. So you get the sense of this as these episodes unfold, and the plot thickens, so to speak, throughout the series.
Yeah, in episode 2, the Star Spangled Man. That is, there's a really good action sequence.
Yeah, there is
fighting on top of the trucks. With the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and even say the new Captain America comes in as well,
and his sidekick.
Yeah, the new sidekick. What's he supposed to be? I forget. What's his?
I can't remember what his handle is, but he's his sidekick basically. He has a code name, like they all do.
They're kind of in this one later on. They're kind of jerks or something, acting like jerks.
Well, his sidekick isn't. His sidekick is pretty much a straight guy, and he's trying to keep him straight on things, but. This new Captain America, he really gets full of himself, let's say.
Yeah.
He gets egotistical, and he just gets full of himself, and that's where he gets into trouble.
Yeah, and later on in the episode, Sam and Bucky, they meet with Isaiah,
yes,
who was a super soldier as well.
Yes, which is where this new serum came from.
Played by Carl Lumpley. Did I say that right?
Lumpley? I think you did, yes.
And a sequence with Bucky psychiatrist and along with Sam,
Right.
She has them like facing each other to get close to each other.
Exactly.
And it's a pretty good scene because Bucky confronts Sam about, and you know what? He's got a point because Steve trusted him. He gave him that shield for a purpose. Mm-hmm. And he just flat out gave up on it. Well, he made a huge mistake, as we were saying early.
He didn't feel worthy, and that was where that came from. He just didn't feel worthy taking that shield, and he felt like it belonged in a museum. He felt like it belonged in a memorial to memorialize Captain America, what he stood for.
Now that I don't think
as a symbol.
I don't think that's something Steve would have wanted.
No, it's not.
It's for fighting and such.
And this is what this
passing
this was
the shield to the next Avenger and such.
This was the bone of contention between he and between Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes.
There you go.
Bucky was really upset that he let the shield go, and now this new guy has it, who Bucky and basically Sam too see him as unworthy to carry the shield. Granted, he's a war hero. He did a lot of great things, but that doesn't make him Captain America. And you soon find out as the episodes unfold that he is not Captain America.
No, Sam, like who? Oh, the new Captain America.
The new Captain America.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. And by the way, at the end of episode 2, we get a very brief appearance. I'm saying, who of course, leading up to episode 3, Baron.
Yes.
Zemo. That's it, Zemo?
Yeah, Zemo.
Yeah, so he gets a brief appearance at the end of episode 2. The episode ends, and we know because, hey, he's going to be in the next episode.
Exactly. So
that's cool.
So stay tuned and definitely watch it. It's worth a watch. It's a great show. Very much in the Marvel vein and the Marvel spirit.
Yeah, and Wyatt Russell, he plays the new Captain America.
Yes, he does.
I feel like because when I was watching the episodes, I was kind of I feel like I know his face from something else. Yes. What about you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we'll just have to look it up because I know I've seen him in something else.
Yeah, I have too, and I can't place him.
Thank you. And there's a quote. I just want to mention this. There's a quote from the bad guys. I forget what is one person. I can't remember it, but once I remember it, we'll mention it in part 2 of our review of the show. So, but you remember that quote, don't you? They have a quote.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, but overall, the first 2 episodes are pretty good, huh?
Very good. Yes.
And for the start of the show, of course.
Yes.
And forgot to mention this, the funny moments are good too.
Good funny moments.
Especially because with obviously with Sam and Bucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Especially that one device that Sam has. It's like, what's it called? Like, he has like a, you know, that's a robot and such, you know, fly. You know what I'm talking about? It has a camera.
He calls it Red Wing.
Red Wing, yeah. Because with Red Wing too, yeah, funny moments with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, and Red Wing, because we first see it in Civil War, so. And we get some, appears again in this, so, you know. Well, it's like, I guess you could say Sam's pet, robotic pet or something. I guess you could say. But pet bird, that whatever. But overall, the first 2 episodes of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 1, New World Order, and episode 2, The Star Spangled Man. They were good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And any last words?
No last words. Tune in on Disney Plus and watch it.
Yep. And for me, you said that, and what I'm about to say, tune in next time for part 2. Yep, because as you saw, there are 3 parts, you know, because part 1, we review the first 2 episodes, and part 2, episodes 3 and 4, then part 3, 5 and 6. Just like how when we did WandaVision, it was in 3 parts.
Right.
Same thing with this. Anyway, so any last words?
No last words.
You used to normally say, I must be off, or that kind of
All right, I must be off.
Little Blue says, I must be off. For me, we hope you enjoyed our review, part 1, that is, of episodes 1 and 2 of The Falcon Winter Soldier. Stay tuned for part 2, and we'll see you guys in the next video /review video. Take care, peace out, and Avengers, assemble.